And we do not score a single touchdown in this one. Levis set to throw, stepping up, he will scramble into the end zone. Again, we need the stop here, but that should just do it. So we start 0-2 this episode, taking us now down to 500. Putting up that first round pick, well, apparently that will just go ahead and do it. 35-21, we lose to the Browns. 28-14, we drop yet another. 31-17, we drop another one. And after several more weeks of just losing, the team would finally figure something out. Come week 15 on the season, might as well try to get more. As we do not find more, we find instead opposite side Devontae Parker of the uniform here. Pass rush down the middle. We get a sack. It is Tillery. Top two receivers below, and Kyron will finish off the drive. We send the blitz. Quick rush around the edge. There is the sack we were looking for. That might open some things for us across the middle. There is Rondale Moore, who gets the juke on the corner and is into the end zone. Finish off the drive. Williams, touchdown. No, we do stick with the run. Kyron Williams with the hat trick. Again, that was great to see before we head into our first offseason, because there are some dudes on this roster. And coming off of a very interesting season 1 of the Kentucky and Indiana State Only challenge here, we finished 5-12. Not good by any means. Well at the bottom here, the AFC South. Titans, they went 8-9. Texans and the Jaguars both made the playoffs, going 13-4 and then 10-7. And we would actually see ourselves pick up 2 Pro Bowlers this year. One at running back in Kyron Williams, a phenomenal young player I definitely am going to try to help build this team around. On the opposite side, we go to the defense, as we didn't have any receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, but we did have a defensive lineman in Sheldon Rankins, a 76, one of the lowest overall for non-special teams players to make the Pro Bowl, and he did have himself a pretty good year. And as for yearly awards, Kyron Williams would take home best running back for the AFC. Now, all the other ones, we maybe had some guys in the running for some, like Will Levis. He was down here for 6 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That ended up going to Puka Nacua. Kyron was down here at 7th for Offensive Player of the Year. And Yaya Diaby was at 6 for Defensive Rookie of the Year, where we also had Carrington Valentine for 10th, same category. But when it came to best DBs, we did have a guy here down at 8 in Nick McLeod. So there were some good parts to this team. We just have to build around them. And that's exactly what the first half of this episode is going to be about. As we go through the offseason, we'll also get up to week 8 of the regular season today. But as we officially close season 1, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, though not the real Chiefs, winning the Super Bowl 17-10 over the not real Dallas Cowboys. It is Micah Parsons with the Chiefs who gets the Super Bowl MVP and the official yearly award winners over on that right-hand side. But as we officially start off-season talk, off-season moves, the first one is Roger Saffold. He retires after his 14th year in the NFL. And the only other player in division to retire is from the Texans in Eric Fisher. He was in his 11th. Well, that will quickly get us to the first real part of the offseason. First thing where moves are going to be made, and that is player re-signing. And we have a big one right out the go here in Ronnie Stanley, 30 years old, 89 overall. He's one of the top tackles in the game. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a whole lot of interest in coming back, so we will definitely have to come back to that. And as we move through the list here, there are just not a lot of guys who have much interest at all. The one guy who does have some interest is the fullback in Xander Horvath, and there's not a whole lot of options at fullback, so let's just try to lock him down here for the remainder of this series. We'll give him a little bit of a decent deal here for a fullback, and he will sign. Now, Brandon Aubrey, our kicker, he had a pretty good year. He doesn't have a whole lot of interest, but he's going to be the highest possible kicker we could have this series. So I'm going to give him a 4-year deal here. Interested to see if he takes it, and he actually was hoping for that exact contract. So great for both of us. Now we're actually going to be letting all of these guys walk because, again, the interest is just not there. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be coming back, but from now, we're moving on from them until we get to open free agency. Now, Ronnie Stanley, I would love to lock him down. He's 30, we got 4 more years. He could stick around for that time, so let's offer him a decent deal here. Because he doesn't have a lot of interest, we have to pay a lot. This is $23 million per year, still leaving us with 108 in our cap room. So let's offer this deal, and he wants to test free agency. Now, that was, a $23 million deal? If we go to franchise tag him, it's 17.5. So it saves us some money for this year. Hopefully we have a better year and he wants to sign in the future. So let's franchise tag Stanley, and that is close free agency. And as for open free agency, not all too bad for us. Did miss out on 2 players, tried to bring back a backup offensive lineman and defensive linebacker, I think. It was either a linebacker or a defensive end. Can't quite remember. But we did bring in Romeo Okwara, so we should have both the Okwara brothers. Brought in Equanimous St. Brown. We also brought in Ian Thomas to be our backup tight end. I think Troy Pride Jr. is a new player. We brought back Forrest Lamp, brought back Trice Jr., brought back Brock Wright, brought in Jalen Graham. Don't believe we had him last year. Brought back Kennard, brought back Cam Jones. Brandon Joseph, I think, is a new player. We brought back Tyler Newsome at punter and brought back DeAndre Square. So most of it is depth, maybe a little bit of some rotational. No straight up starters were we able to find in free agency. And with now free agency done, we could shift our focus over to the draft and what our options are. Now, obviously, we don't have our first round pick because we traded that for Julian Love. Didn't probably have to trade the first round pick, maybe could have been a second rounder. Was trying to gauge interest and they just straight up took it. Yep, my bad. But what we do have is second and later. Now there's a round 1 to 2 running back. He doesn't look all too different than Ben McMahon here, who is a day 3 talent. And we do need some depth at running back. I did forget we did lose Rodriguez Jr. I want to say he went to the Panthers. But we have someone here who maybe could be some depth. He has some awareness, ball carrier vision, break tackle carrying. It's all at a pretty decent spot. He does not appear to be able to help out at all really in the receiving game. He is strictly just hand the ball off to him. And speaking of receiving and catching the ball, there is a potential undrafted receiver I have some interest in Dwayne Vernon. He's a physical guy out of Indiana, 6'4", 216, 22 years old. It's nothing really flashy for the combine here, but it's all right. Given potential undrafted, he's a big dude. Route running is not very sharp. Release might be a decent spot to start off with. He would be a depth guy, someone we could take in maybe the 6th, 7th round and try to develop. Where the best talent I think that maybe we'll have the chance to take is Will Truman, a left guard, though we could probably move him around a little bit. Projected 2 to 3. Actual talent is 1 to 2, so taking him late first, early second, that's probably really where he's supposed to go at. He's 22 years old, decent size out of Louisville, and he's got some strength to his game, pretty decent quickness and agility as well, and just overall, he should be a solid lineman. Injury concern with that being a D, but impact and lead are fantastic. Pass block finesse is really good. He's just not much of a power guy. Moving past him, there's another offensive lineman I do have interest in late on in Austin Alexander, another guy out of Louisville. He's 22 years old. He's got a pretty decent look here for the combine. Centers typically have pretty good, but he's not a run block finesse. He's just not much of a finesse guy. We aren't certain about most actually of the ratings here. A lot of it are ranges, but there is a high ceiling if the ceiling is good. Getting to the defense, there is Jackson Blackburn. He was around 3 to 4 projection. True Talent says potential undrafted as a speed rusher, and that's an area where we do need a little bit of help. We did not produce a lot of rush at all last year, so if we could find anything better, great. He has some block shedding. He has the finesse, but both of those are Bs. I'm assuming just all the other ratings are pretty bad, and that's what's tanking that overall. But maybe someone, if he drops to the 6th or 7th round, we could pick him up. Now, where the hidden talent I feel like is in this class is a corner in James Alden, a zone style, which is the type of corner we use. Day 3, though true talent is 3 to 4. He's 6'2", 202, 22 years old, again out of Louisville. He's got some decent speed, He's the strongest corner in the class. It's just not a very strong class. The rest of it, solid. As for his ratings, press, fantastic. Catching, great. Block shedding is there. He's got, again, that zone tackle is looking really good. Just don't ask him to do any sort of man coverage. That's a D. Awareness is a C. Injury is a C. And play rec is a D. So he's not going to be a top tier kind of guy, but we don't have a lot of top tier talent at corner. He might find himself some playing time. But one of the top tier guys for the defense is another Louisville guy at free safety in Xavier Gross. He's 22 years old, 6'1", 210, and we could use some safeties. He's got some speed, strength. I mean, really, he's got pretty much all that you would ask for. Man coverage, zone coverage, good awareness, block shedding. He can catch the ball, tackle. I mean, he is a solid free safety. But he's a round 1, and we don't have a round 1. Could we try to trade back up to get to him? Maybe. Now, the last option for us is another free safety, again out of Louisville, another round 1. Don't know how that quite works. Maybe a strong safety is just listed at free. Who knows? But Joe Wayne out of Louis, he does have some zone, just not the same caliber as Gross. So, where do they expect Gross to go? Well, if Mock Draft 5 is to tell us anything, it's actually later on in that first round, spot 28 with the Jaguars. That means it could very well be possible that we could trade up to bring in Xavier Gross. But if we do that, we're going to have to miss out most likely on that offensive lineman. So just looking on a roster, what is the bigger priority for us? Well, at free right now, we have a 26-year-old in Alohi Gilman. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing his name or any names. He's an 82 overall with the morale not taking that down. Normal dev. Again, he's 26. He's got the zone. Man, a little bit behind. Speed, not great. I prefer a lot more speed there at free safety. 90 kind of is my minimum there. And he's only 86 with 84 acceleration. So we could very well be getting beat over the top, which we saw we struggled against stopping the pass. Now at strong, we do have Julian Love. Traded for him. And Love could possibly play that free safety spot. He's got the better speed, just the coverages are a little bit lower, but he has the better man, and man is needed for strong safety if we run any sort of cover 1. So we have some solid options here for the safety spot, though our free doesn't quite line up with what we're looking for, and maybe we could use Gilman to trade. As for our offensive line, more so interior, Forrest Lamp is the only guy listed at left guard. He's a 70 overall at 30 years old. Opposite side, you got Aaron Banks, 72 overall, 26 years old. And at center, you have Fortner, a 70 overall at 26. So I kind of feel like just taking a look at the rest of the offensive line, especially with right tackle George Fant, he regressed a lot this offseason. The offensive lineman is going to be of higher importance to us. So with that being said, we start our draft. We pick 5th in the 2nd round. And again, as a reminder, Will Truman, our target here. He's around 2 to 3, true talent, round 1 to 2. He could still be there by that time. We know he wasn't projected to go in the 1st round, but he's also the top left guard available. If we look for the right side, there are a lot more round 1 to 2s, 1s, some round 2 to 3s. So hopefully these guys are going to pull a lot more attention and we can find ourselves still picking up Truman. So here is the plan. We are going to get to the start of the 2nd round. If he's still there, then we're going to be a lot more cautious with how we move forward because we really need Truman. So as we immediately now jump to the beginning of that 2nd round, let's check in. Is Truman still there? He is. He's around 2 to 3, again projected. There are still some round 1 to 2s and some 2 to 3s over at right guard. And just in case anyone was wondering, well, both of the safeties at free, who were the round 1s, they've already gone. And if we look at the top of the board right now, there are still a lot of round 1 to 2s available, so I think we could safely move forward and try to get to our pick. So with the first selection in the 2nd round, the New York Giants, they draft Devontae Bridge, running back out of Auburn. Now for the Steelers, they pick up a left end in Darrell Lewis, Auburn. Ravens up next. It is another running back in Johnny Rosemond out of Bama. One pick away, the Lions. They select left tackle Jay McLeod out of Utah, which means we can go pick up our offensive lineman. The first draftee of the Kentiana State Only Challenge is an offensive lineman. In a way, I feel like that's kind of fitting. Will Truman played left guard at Louisville, 22 years old, pretty good physicals, and he has a lot of skill sets when blocking. He is a normal dev, 90 strength, 65 speed, 74 jumping, 60 change of direction, 74 agility, with 80 acceleration. And I expect he's going into the starting lineup. Where? We'll find out, but we needed him. Now moving forward, it's just gonna be BPA. We're not trading up for anyone. So let's jump to our next user selection, which is the 3rd round pick 5. Who do we still have available? We had a couple options that we liked. Ben McMahon maybe a little bit later on. And Alexander, maybe we take a shot on later. Brandon Scott is still available. There is the outside linebacker, not all too concerned about him. And then there is James Alden. Day 3, round 3 to 4 projection. I think there might be a path for him to start. So I'm not going to miss on James Alden. We're going to bring in the talent at corner. He's a great size guy, zone type with a pretty good combine. Just got to work on boosting up some of his negatives. Awareness, play rec, get man up a little bit, but he might force some turnovers. I'm thinking he's a slot corner. James Alden is the hidden dev. 91 speed and acceleration, 64 strength, not bad for a corner. He's got 88 agility, 86 change of direction, and 92 jumping, while already standing at a lofty 6'2". Very happy with that selection. Now moving to the 4th round. I'm thinking the running back, and maybe now I'm considering the backup offensive lineman option we had. I want to say his name was Scott McMahon, still there. And Scott is gone, so that is not an option. 4th round, what we have left, what can we do? Well, there's some intriguing backup offensive linemen here late on. Rob Cunningham, he might have some intriguing talent as a tackle, considering he is a pass protector. Austin Alexander, maybe again, he's a tackle, or maybe he's just a center, needs help on both sides. That's an option. There was Dwayne Vernon, who I thought had some interest. But of the guys we have left with the talent we know, it's a little bit of an overdraft, but we need help for running back. So I'm thinking we go Ben McMahon here, 6 foot, 220, 23 years old, runs about a 4.5 average there. He's got strength to his game. Not much for the hands, but he's not going to be our number 1 guy. He's a backup for Kyron Williams, a normal dev, 87 speed, 88 acceleration with 80 strength. He's got a little bit of some agility, some change of direction. I think that might be a pretty lateral move from Rodriguez. Now here in the 5th round, we did have that outside linebacker go, so no longer is he going to be an option. Again, I thought the talent was better than potential undrafted. This would have been about the spot I would have considered taking him. So instead, what we have here is trying to decide if some of these guys are worth taking potential undrafted, locking in a longer term contract. First off, Dwayne Vernon, does he have the chance to get out onto the field? Probably not season 1. We've got a lot of different receiver options, but maybe we come back to him. Where we are the weakest, that's going to be the offensive line. So let's take a look at Rob Cunningham and Austin Alexander, decide between the two. We still might end up with both. Rob Cunningham, 6'4", 303, 21 years old, obviously out of Louisville, they all are. Not very strong. Strength or bench reps under 30. So it's not a fantastic combine. Run block finesse is an F. Pass block finesse, who knows? Pass block power, though, is a B, so there's that. Some good injury. Not much of a lead blocker. Pass block is a B. Run block is C to an F, so he's definitely looking more like a tackle. If we switch over to Alexander, 22 years old. He's stronger, the better combine. Run block finesse is going to be bad no matter what. We know at least the pass block finesse is the C. We just don't know a lot of some key ratings here. but the ceiling looks like it could be higher. A awareness for Alexander. That's where we go. Normal dev, 83 strength, 77 acceleration. He's going to need some help on both sides. I think he sticks at center. Now with just 2 selections remaining, where to go here? There is obviously Dwayne Vernon, someone we've talked about. Cunningham still there. There is a potential speed rusher here in Courtney White. Has the A to C for finesse, but everything looks pretty bad, so that's more of a UDFA kind of talent to me. Rob Cunningham could be an option. The other center, hard to tell. I think where we go here is we go after Dwayne Vernon. Bring in some help for receiver, and he's a hidden dev. I'm glad we went here. 90 speed, 87 acceleration with some agility, change direction, and jumping all at an 84. A little bit of some strength at a 64. He's definitely not a tight end. And now with our final selection here in our first draft. Courtney White still there. Rob Cunningham still there. Did not take much of a look at Daniel Leonard, the other offensive lineman talent, 23 years old, bench reps, pretty similar to the other guy that we had at guard in Cunningham. And yeah, there's just a lot of bad looking there. So don't think we go there. Cunningham's still on the top of my board. We got a deep threat guy here with no release at receiver, not promising. And a backup quarterback with D short accuracy, not looking promising. So it makes it pretty easy for us here. Rob Cunningham. Our final selection is a normal dev, 81 strength, not very strong out of Louisville here, but gonna provide us some depth. And as we check the overalls, not too bad of a class here. Our first pick is Will Truman. He's a 73 overall and already puts him, I think, as our second highest, maybe third highest rated offensive lineman. At left guard, we'll see if he sticks there. A balanced blocker in terms of the run block, pass block. Though he's very much more of the finesse, that's where he's a bit more developed, though the power, not that behind. Could be developed. Lead block is looking really good. And I think he may end up sticking at guard. Need that awareness to come up though. As for our hidden dev corner in Alden, he is a 70 overall. Pretty similar overall to a lot of the guys we have. The press looks really good. He's getting a little bit of a boost from the coach, but that's at an 80. Zone looks good. Man is awful. We're not going to ask him to run any sort of man. Play rec needs some work. Where is his awareness? Also needs some work at a 60. Injury in 87. He could see some playing time for sure, even in the slot. Past those two, everyone else is going to be some depth kind of player. Ben McMahon at running back, again, normal dev. He's going to have a little bit of a balanced play set. He's got some trucking, a little bit of some moves as well. Juke at an 81, trucking is a 79. Change of direction, it's all there. Just needs to work on some break tackle. And the hands, actually not as bad as I thought they would be, just the route runnings are horrific. Now, as for Austin Alexander, the center we picked up, he's a 64. Very much just a pass blocker. Lead block is all right. Strength is pretty low. We'll see if he develops much at all, but if he does, he will strictly be a backup this series. Now for our late round hidden dev receiver in Dwayne Vernon, he is a 65. So not very polished. Hands are at an okay spot to start off with. Maybe he could work a little bit in the slot as a big frame to get the ball to, but we'll see for him. And we wrap out with Rob Cunningham, 62 overall. Again, more so developed for the pass blocking, at best depth, but probably will be practice squad season 1. And I did want to check on the safeties we decided to pass on. See where they ended up going. They were both free safeties. And Xavier Gross, yep, he was pretty good. 79 hidden dev. We could have tried to trade up. He's got the speed, zone man. It could have been a good option for us, try to trade up, but what would it have cost to get from our spot in the second round into the first? I don't know. The bigger need that I felt we had was for offensive linemen. We didn't have a starting group there. We have starting safeties. Maybe Xavier Gross joins us at a future time. As for the other option in Joe Wayne, he also was a hidden dev. That I did not expect. 75 overall. And he's all zone. He could very well be just that roaming over the top safety, but to have that, you need to be rocking a little bit more of some man coverage, which we don't. So I'm okay with where we're at here. I like the speed better with these two safeties, but had to take the offensive lineman. Spot of need. And now moving into the start of season 2, this is the lineup we have moving forward. Obviously, Will Levis, quarterback here for us, and he did really well his rookie year. Obviously, stats a little bit off in the just straight sim through games, but while we watched, he looked impressive. Zappy is now the only backup quarterback that we have on roster. We have a practice squad quarterback in Cone, but we did end up trading away White. I want to say it was Panthers for not a current 7th round pick, but a future 7th round pick. We just needed the roster space, and we wanted to go with the younger quarterback options. Kyron Williams still our main guy here on offense. We want the offense to run through him. At receiver, we did suffer an injury for Parker in the preseason. He's only going to miss 1 game though, so that is good. So for this first one, we're going to have Rondale Moore and Wan'Dale Robinson playing the outside receivers. Neither one have much of any release, so we're going to see a little bit of Equanimous St. Brown as well as Westbrook Akine have to step in and play a little bit on the outside while either Moore or Robinson play some in the slot. Offensive line, for the most part, pretty similar to last year, though the rookie in Truman is stepping in at left guard. It's, for the most part, a pretty weak offensive line, with Stanley very much lifting the overall average. And then Higbee at tight end, with Ian Thomas now tight end 2. We did end up releasing Smythe, and Brock Wright will be tight end 3. And we kept, obviously, our fullback in Horvath. Getting to the defensive side, again, not a whole lot of change here. Yaya Diaby and Pashal. I actually forgot to look it up to see if that's actually how it's pronounced, but those two are going to be the ends, Rankin and Tillery down the middle. We will have the backups of Aquaras for both of the sides. And then for the cornerback group, this one was interesting with the addition, hidden dev rookie in Alden, but the awareness and play rec on him are just so low that in a sim series he could be a liability. So we're going to start with Valentine and McLeod as the primary 2. However, McLeod is also going to be our starting slot corner, so that's going to bring out Eccles for the outside corner whenever we go with a nickel or dime set. Safeties, same as last year, Gilman and Love. Linebackers, same as last year, though we actually start the season with JOK. This time he missed, I want to say, the first 8 or so games last season. Specialists, I'm pretty sure we went over everyone there. You can take a quick look if you need to, but it's pretty much a lot of guys returning from last year, just developing. But as mentioned earlier in the video, plan is to get through the first 7 games, get us to week 8, have a little bit more information on the draft class, and decide if we want to make any trades from there. So let's jump into week 1 as we start off the first 2 games of the season in division, Titans, then Jaguars. And it will be on defense while we get underway. We will start watching at least the first drive of both sides, then maybe start getting through this one a little bit quicker as first play goes to Kamara. It's a gain of 15. This defense at times last year showed real promise, though after this season, a lot of regression for some of our top end guys, especially for the defensive line. That's a pretty weak group, as that is a knockaway. Honestly, cannot remember his name. One of the linebackers there making the play. 2nd and 10 with a split backfield. Watson gonna roll towards the top. He has his guy, but he overthrows. So we'll catch a little bit of a break there. 3rd and 10. A chance to get off the field with a bunch down to the bottom, 1 up top. Watson in the pocket here. Will go right down the middle and finding his target that time. Campbell holds on to it. Only 2 plays today have they gained yards, though those 2 plays 15 and 20. So pretty good chunks as they look to go on the ground this time. Kamara stuffed in the backfield. Jawan Bentley getting the stop there. Loss of 2. As they have 2 down to the bottom, 1 up top for 2nd and 12. Hand it back off to Kamara. Not going to get fully by Tillery. JOK there as well. He'll end up getting back those 2 lost yardage. Leave 3rd and 10 with a trip set up top. Tight end at the bottom. Will be play action. Watson down towards their tight end. Uncatchable. But it looks like this might be a DPI, and indeed it is. They get Alohi Gilman on that one. Again, ball too far out in front for the tight end to even get to it, but Free set of downs here as they go back to Kamara. Gain of 3. A little bit of a slow start for our defense, but, making a little bit of some plays here and there. That flag just unfortunate. 2nd and 7 now. Watson in the pocket. Down to the bottom. Has the guy. This time it's Kamara out of the backfield. Down to the 3. Very interested to see who is going to be our defensive playmaker this year. As it's 1st and goal, empty set. We send the blitz, but it's a dot to the tight end. Titans, for the most part, pretty easily march down the field. Well, offense, how do we respond? Our first drive for our offense this year. We start with the running back down the middle. Gonna gain a couple there is Kyren Williams. Quite obviously, he was our main guy last year, and he was fantastic. Hopefully, he builds upon a good first season. As we go back to him here, not much space. Honestly, I kind of wish Will Levis kept that one. He scrambled around a good bit last year, leaving us here with a 3rd and 8. Got trips up top, tight end down to the bottom. A little bit of some play action. Pass rush headed in, but off the mark. Will be a quick 3 and out. And hopefully the team gets things moving a little bit here for us. After a throwaway leaves 3rd and 5, and we hold them 4th and 1. Defense gets their 3 and out. Now offense, let's have a better drive here. Starting with a knockaway by McDuffie. Then a loss of 3 on 2nd, 3rd, and 13. We pick up 25. Wan'Dale Robinson. Didn't get that much involved last year. Hopefully he has a better season. McDuffie knocks it away again. 3rd and short. 29 to Moore, down inside the 10. And this would be a great opportunity. Look for a stretch down to the bottom here. Get Williams his first touchdown. Or instead they go with a toss, turn it into a toss dive. Trucks through Campbell, getting us down to the 7. Honestly, kind of looked like we took a play out of the Stanford playbook there. As we go with the play action here. Levis dumping it off to his tight end will be a short gain, 2 yards. And with that already through the first quarter, as we just saw the first catch from Brock Wright, at least that we've seen throughout this series. As on 3rd and goal, Levis trying to scramble. He will throw away. We'll send out the field goal unit here. We could potentially have gone for it. Just at this point in the game, safer to get some points on the board. And that's exactly what we do. Omri makes this one 7-2-3. Defense back out there. Good first play and intercepted by Julian Love. We take over inside the 15. And that is exactly why I opted to just take the field goal. Now we have the opportunity to take the lead. As it will be a throw here, Levis. Back in the pocket, though, having to step up. Delivers a ball nearly to the corner. So far, nothing flashy from Will Levis, at least not like what we saw at the beginning of last season. We got a strong I formation here, back down the middle. Williams trying to push forward, keep those legs moving, fall forward, gain of 6. That'll leave us needing 4 more on 3rd. We're at the 7. Bunch down to the bottom, hard count by Levis. Dropping back to throw, though stepping up, finally releases and finds the first touchdown of the year. It goes to Equanimous St. Brown. That Kentucky to Notre Dame connection, putting us in front here 10-7. Knocked away by Valentine. 3rd and 5. We give up 5 to Puka Nacua, though. 4th and 1 for the Titans. And they went for it, or maybe just a penalty on the punt. Either way, we're getting the ball back. A fantastic opportunity here for us. Though Campbell starts with knocking it away. We pick up 4 Kyren Williams. 3rd and 6, thrown away by Will Levis. Will be a quick 3 and out. 5.5 minutes here left in the first half. 2 yards Kamara, 3rd and 8. 11, they find Everett. Titans haven't done much since their first possession as they lose 2, bringing up 3rd and 10. Dropped by Gabe Davis. Defense will hold yet again. This has kind of been the storyline in a lot of the games that we've at least jumped in, watched some of the quarter sims. A lot of very close contended games. And as we have a 4th and 2 here after just gain of 3, we're punting right back. A lot of defensive play here. as they do finally pick up a first down there to Kamara. Going back to him a third straight play, make it 4 straight, 2 first downs for him this drive. Gabe Davis picking up 7. As we hit the 2-minute warning, couple plays jump forward, and now they're down inside the 30. We could use a little bit of some pass rush here. That's definitely something we have not seen much of. As it's an empty set, they throw across the middle, finding their target down inside the 5, down to the 4 for Campbell. Titans have a Campbell on both sides of the ball. One of them gets them down to 1st and goal here. Watson looking to throw. The rolls, here comes that pass rush. That was Paschal picking up the sack again. If I am not pronouncing it correctly, do go ahead and update me on the correct pronunciation. 2nd and goal, dumping it off for Kamara. He's got some space and just crosses the goal line. 26 seconds left before half. Titans retake the lead. But with all timeouts in our back pocket and a lot of speed out on the field with this squad, let's see if we can find some points before halftime. We got those 26 seconds. As we got our guy coming across, that's going to be Equanimous. Going to pick up a nice chunk and out of bounds up at the 47. 20 seconds left. Looking to at least find a field goal before half, get Aubrey in range. Probably sitting around the 40. As we got 4 receivers over the right-hand side, 1 to the left in Robinson. Just try to get some space across the middle. There's Higbee diving out for it. Let's call our first timeout there, 15 seconds. Maybe put that one a little bit tighter on him. We get a couple more yards, but this is about field goal range for us. We're now pressing for a little bit more. As we got our guy coming all the way across, out for Robinson. Only a short gain of 4, 10 seconds left. Now this is where you try to take your pop shot for the end zone, then call that last timeout, settle for a field goal. We got trips to the right-hand side, Higbee to the left, Williams a little bit of some play action, as we have our guy wide open, but overthrowing St. Brown. That should have been his 2nd of the day. But instead, we look to settle for the field goal. Aubrey, it's leaning right, and it's off the upright. Should have been 14-13 at half. Instead, it is 14-10. A little bit of a disappointing end there. It was looking pretty smooth. Things to clean up. Some things were good, but that's pretty synonymous. But as we get the second half underway, at least one good thing here, we start off with possession. A chance still to try to take a lead. Kyron Williams starts with a gain of 5. 5 more this time goes to Levis, though 3rd and inches. We pick up the first down going Williams. I would like to see a lot more from him this half, or pick up 26 to Higbee. That works as well. And 20 more to Rondale gets us down inside the red zone. Now we will attack it with a spread empty set. 2 up top, the rest down below. Levis, pressure coming in, throws it up top, and it's nearly picked, intended for Wan'Dale Robinson. Instead, McCreary nearly came away with it. Decent choice on that throw, though just get it up higher. As we look to throw immediately the next play, back to Equanimous. He's getting well involved today, though not holding on to that one. 3rd and 10, Levis sitting 50% on the day, 11 of 22, as he's got 2 spread either side. Looking for another throw up top, and that one is just poor. So yet again having to settle for the field goal. Aubrey missed the one before halftime. Please don't miss this one, as it is up down the middle. But we find ourselves getting that 14-13 score line just a little bit later than we were hoping. As we're under 5 minutes left here in the third, Titans with the ball, picking up the first down on 3rd. As they went to Kamara, back to him again on 1st. A lot of Kamara. He picks up another first down. A penalty on Jake Andrews will back him up a little bit. Looks like false start. Then back to Kamara, gain of 3, 2nd and 12. Kamara, gain of 6, 3rd and 6. A 0-yard reception to Kamara. I'll take that at the 46. Should be outside of field goal range, and indeed they do punt. We start out pretty deep and throw an interception to McCreary. Not a good game so far from Will Levis. He's missed wide open throws, that is for sure, as a penalty gives them a free first down. 3rd and 1 here at the 7. They get 4, looking to extend their lead. Not quite yet. 2nd and 1. There it is for Kamara. Make it 21-13. Now offense. Can we put together a good drive here? We need a touchdown and a 2-point. Well, Daxton Hill knocks it away. 2nd and 10. We get 5 to Kyron Williams. 3rd and 5 as we start the 4th quarter. We get sacked by TJ Watt. This is actually a pretty well-built Titans team. But we got to come ready to play here in this 4th quarter as now Zeke was popping in there. They go to Puka, get the first down. Zeke back again. So yeah, just a very well-rounded Titans team. As Deshaun Watson scrambles for the first. 11 more goes to Gabe Davis. Honestly, they should have more points on us, considering all the guys they have. As they are marching down the field, they might actually add on to it, as it is Will Mallory with a 24-yard touchdown, doubling the lead with 4 minutes left. Well, offense, it's down to this. And if you could get a quick touchdown drive, well, that works. Rondale Moore picking up a good chunk. Then a 0-yard catch. That's the opposite of helping. Then just 2, 3rd and 8. Incomplete pass. 4th and 8. 3.5 minutes left. If we're to have any hope in this game, it's a 4th down conversion we must have here. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Just going to have to flood sides of the field here. Get this one out. It's Equanimous picking up the first down and dipping out at the 30. Now let's try to get this thing going a little bit quicker. No huddle here on out. If St. Brown can pull over the right side safety, leave Robinson across the face of the other safety, we might have an option. No, instead, we miss completely to Rondale Moore. Well, what I'm seeing right now is Will Levis, he's not going to throw accurate balls on the move. We have to just have him sit in the pocket and deliver the pass as he does here. There goes Wan'Dale Robinson out inside the 10 at the 8. And with just over 3 minutes left, got to have it in 1-2 plays here because we still need that stop from our defense. As it's a sack coming in for TJ Watt, his 2nd of the day. Again, this is not a very strong offensive line. Our best guy is our left tackle, though TJ, he's on the opposite side. As we have a couple different options here. Get it out, but not enough time. I believe that was TJ again wrecking it in the backfield. That'll leave us with a 3rd and goal, now about 2.5 minutes left. We got Robinson on a zig, St. Brown on an in. Got a couple options. Honestly, it's 2 down territory or 4 down, but we don't need it. St. Brown grabs another. Now from here, probably smarter to go with the 2-point try. Currently down 28-19. That 2-point is key here for us. 2.5 minutes left in the game. Slant coming in and not enough time to cleanly get it out. Offensive line lets us down there. Unless the defense can force a quick stop here, we are about out of options. 2nd and 3, Alvin Kamara picks up the first down as the 2-minute warning hits. A penalty comes in on Mallory. 2nd and 6, they get 2, 3rd and 5. Puka Nacua puts the stamper on this one. They tack on some points. We tack on some late points, but inevitably, it's going to be a loss in week 1. And not a very good start by Will Levis either. And with that, we're going to quickly jump into a quarter sim next week against the Jaguars, as it's another slow start. They take a 10-0 lead after the first quarter. Getting into the second, back and forth here, we finally find our field goal, though we give up a touchdown before half, 17-3. Let's get into the third quarter then. Drive down the field, find a touchdown, give up a touchdown, 24-10 as we start the fourth quarter. Let's slow it down a little bit here as a penalty. That'll help us out a little bit. 1st and 5, Benny Snell, 4-yard rush. Pick up the first down here. We'll jump in, drop by Moore, 3rd and 1. There we go. That'll do it. Now, I am slightly concerned that we're seeing so much from Benny Snell there. Hopefully, Kyron Williams doing all right in this one, as it's 1st and 10. He's in the backfield. He takes the handoff. Down the middle, he shakes one and gets us down inside the 10. Goal to go at the 9. 14 carries, 59 yards. Not awful. Would like to add a touchdown on the board for him, as we have a strong eye set here. Going back to Kyron, trying to find a lane. Just follow the fullback in Horvath. down to the 2. That's exactly what we need from him, though. On 2nd and goal, double A gap look here from the Jags. See if we can get a slant right behind, or hand off, find a lane, and pushing through, getting into the end zone. That's exactly what we needed to start this 4th quarter. Kyren Williams back in the end zone. But that does still leave us a lot of work to do in this one, as they start with a gain of 8 and then a first down with Kenneth Walker. Still down a touchdown, as now through the air, Walker picks up 26. They're well in plus territory now. 2nd and 4, 12 goes to DJ Moore. They're down now inside the red zone. 2nd and 9, 8 to Moore. 3rd and inches. First down to Wicks. 1st and goal, touchdown Walker. The Jaguars, they are pretty much the team to chase, as they have Lamar Jackson, a quarterback eligible for our team. Danielle Hunter gets the sack here. 2nd and 18. We get 25 at least to Wandale Moore. That's such a hard problem. Rondale and Wandale on the same team is tripping me up. We get 27 yards back to Moore. Gets us to the 32. I would love to at least end this game with another touchdown. Then from there, try to find some things to correct, build upon moving forward. Will Levis with a clean pocket here. He's got to find somewhere to go towards the end zone. He gets picked off. It was 1v1, but Peppers makes the play. Get that ball in higher, then maybe you find more. But instead, we find another loss to start this season, going 0-2, all in division. Let's get through a couple non-divisional games and then try to see where we're at. We've been close in these 2 games. A couple drives, swing, and we find ourselves with wins. And it is not looking like a promising start to this season. Now extending the 0-2 to 0-4, the Dolphins wiped the floor with us 35-7. And in the Vikings game, where we lost 31-21, that one was at home. At least we were over 300 yards, rushing over 100, over 200 passing. Well, right now we are the 28th ranked offense. And defensively, we're 23rd. So we're actually doing better on defense than we are on offense. Will Levis, 5 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 52% completion. So clearly, there is a disconnect happening right now with Will Levis and this offense. And most of the offense did not change. So what I'm thinking is maybe we try a new playbook. I still want one that's going to feature Williams as our primary option. And I think a good option for us is one, changing the scheme as well to vertical power. We were on West Coast zone, but we just have a lot more power options on the offensive line at running back. And using the vertical power, that's going to fit more so of Levis, who is that strong arm candidate. He's got 95 throw power. And with the New York Giants playbook, we're still going to have some heavy formation, some I form, that should feature Williams a good bit because that playbook designed with Saquon in it. But what I'm mostly looking at here is the goal of the playbook is to wear down defenses using constant misdirection. Fine by me. We got a lot of guys all over the place. Let's utilize that. And passing deep frequently to keep defenses honest. So right now, Will Levis, his best accuracies are short and deep. Medium, not so much. That is where I'm assuming the interceptions are happening. So let's use the running game to try to pull defenses down. Then try to hit them over the top with the better accuracy of Levis and the speed we have at receiver. Hopefully that will help out. So let's test that theory as we're going to jump in and we're just going to focus on the offense here in this Lions game. Hopefully we see that the change of playbook helps. And honestly, if we could hold on to a pass as well, that would be great. Honestly, I think this team is very much missing a primary receiver. The guy who I thought might have been able to do that, Devontae Parker, he's in his regression year. So it's got to be Kyren Williams, who's finds space down the middle. That's going to be a first down game. And honestly, if we just got to start spreading out the line here for us, get some guys 2-3 either side, maybe that'll open up a little bit more rushing lanes for Kyren Williams. As Levis on the move here, sets his feet, goes downfield, though swatted away. Good play there by Jackson, but he threw it to a 1v1 situation. That's better than what some of the decisions have been. 2nd and 10 now. Levis dumping it, not dumping it. He actually finds Devontae Parker threading it between a few different defenders. Honestly, I think either was just as good of an option, giving us a first down up to the 48 here. Got a bunch up top. Going back to Williams. Hey, 50, Fortner, maybe block someone there, bud. Instead, we got Williams getting scrunched by 2 linebackers because he didn't do anything but snap the ball. 2nd and 7, we go back to Williams, space up top, get close to the first down there, 3rd and 2. Curious to see what the play call will be here. 3 receivers down the bottom, tight end up top. As we go with a read option, I like that option as Levis slips by 1, first down to the 40. Now let's not run that all too often, but occasionally I like that. Maybe 3-4 times max a game. Looks good. Parker holds on to that one. I will say Lions, they're putting some big hits in here. Though considering how many big hits and injuries that the Lions defense caused in real life, kind of makes sense. 2nd and 5 now. Still back in shotgun. Levis, drop back, going deep downfield, one-on-one, and honestly, I think we need some taller receivers. At least 2 of the 3 starting receivers sub 6 foot, and I feel like that is kind of coming into play here. Levis across the middle, and Moore cannot hold on to any of these contested passes. I understand Edmonds about double your size, but you're playing the game of football here. Got to make the plays. 4th and 5, offense is staying out here. After starting 0-4, why not? Get this one to Higbee, who's fighting through the players and getting us close to the red zone, down to the 21. We just might have to start calling these games a bit more aggressively to try to pull us out of the funk. Got a single back set here, receiver in motion, fake the jet sweep, Williams down the middle, though read by Edmonds. Will end up being a loss of 1, bringing up 2nd and 11 as we drop back to shotgun. 2 spread either side. Will be a throw. Levis in the pocket. Waiting. Finding his guy, though, again, just a little bit too short. Feel like he's just trying to throw to the height of his receiver rather than throwing to beat the defender and having his receivers make the play. 3rd and 11, another throw here. Lofting it up, and he's got Parker that time. The receiver over 6 feet. The ball delivered well. If we could keep finding plays like that, I think this could be a pretty good playbook for us. Though we also need our defense to make some plays as they're out here. Got a 3rd and 1. We give up a first down to Robinson. Thrown away by Pickett. 2nd and 10. We give up 18 to Dallas. All right, well then thrown away again. Another 18. No, close though. 12 as they go McGee. 3 yards Robinson Jr. They're down now at the 20 as they go Chris Evans. First down gain inside the 10 and touchdown for Robinson. Quick answer. Now with 44 seconds left here in the first quarter, offense comes back out here for us. Bunch up top, 1 down below. Levis, let's see what you can do. Deep drop. Gonna find his guy downfield, Wan'Dale Robinson. He holds on to that one. Now, definitely something we need to check moving forward is the catch in traffic of Rondale and Wan'Dale, and whoever has that better rating, we might need to stick out there as our starting slot receiver. I've just seen Moore drop too many opportunities. Higbee shakes 1, though he's going to lose some yardage, but they actually give us forward progress on what should be the last play of the first quarter, and indeed it will be. So first look for the offense, I think I like the way that we were calling it. Get the ball down the field, and if we're not taking the shots, hand it off. If we could do that consistently, I think maybe we'll have something. And also just make sure we're getting those catches across the middle as we go back to Higbee. Another catch for him. Short gain, 3rd and 3. And honestly, we've got to make sure that we're getting him well involved. He's one of our higher rated skill guys on offense. They'll need to pick up a first down here. We set to throw. Dump down to the bottom. It's back to Higbee, though, just a gain of 1. And as I mentioned on the previous drive, gonna be more aggressive as we sit at midfield here. Offense stays out. Down the middle is Williams, picking up that first down and a good little bit more. Just got to keep the pressure going here. Heavy tight end look, all 3 down to the bottom. As we go to Williams up top on the weak side. Dive almost. kind of in between a dive and a stretch. Ends up being a gain of nothing. 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends now, both up top. Receivers down to the bottom. Levis looking to throw, though, rolling. Finding his guy, that's Parker yet again, who gets picked up, slammed down at the 36. Well, that'll leave us with a manageable 3rd down here. With a bunch up top, 1 down below. Look for Williams here, hand it off. That's my call. Or go with the toss that we do not block. 4th and 9. Feel like we settle for the field goal. Fletcher Cox kind of blew that one up. We kicked this one from the 49. It's about a 60-yarder. As Aubrey, he's got the power, but Aubrey misses it wide right. Detroit Lions then get to head right on out. 7-7 as they start right by midfield. He has not been the best kicker, I would say, to start this season. Obviously, he missed the one, what was it, before halftime of that previous game that we watched? And yeah, just not great. Detroit Lions, they're marching down the field, now down inside the 15, down inside the 10 at the 2, thrown away by Pickett, 3rd and 1. 2-yard rush means a 1st and goal at the 1, and Robinson Jr. pounds it in the next go. Well, we have ourselves a little over 2.5 minutes here. We still have time, 3 timeouts. We could run the ball. We could still pass the ball as well as we start with some play action. Will Levis going up top, going to Horvath out of the backfield. He picks up 4. Might as well try to get everyone involved because we're just trying to see who's going to make those plays for us. 2nd and 6. Handed off down the middle, opens up. That is Williams. Thought I read 21 for a second and was confused. Well, Williams will carry us to the 2-minute warning. 14-7. Again, we have our timeouts. We need a touchdown to end this drive. Keep it a close game, or tied game even. As we have 2 up top, 1 down below. We go with the slants, and it's through the hands of Parker. We have not thrown to Rondale Moore in a good while, and it probably for good reason. I don't know if Will Levis trusts him. 2nd and 10. It's thrown behind. I think that was actually intended for Parker. Either way, it's in the hands of Edmonds, and they're going to take over at the 24. Pretty costly play there, as now the Lions could easily widen their lead here. Defense, they're trying to step up, but they give it up on 3rd. McGee gets the 1st down, another gain of 7, and a touchdown for Mike Williams. Well, let's try to get through this one a little bit quicker. 21-7. If the offense decides to do something, we'll definitely jump in, but it looks like we're going absolutely nowhere. And the Lions, they still have a chance at some more points, though they will take mercy on us, run it into halftime. As we begin the second half, though, the Lions do get the ball either way, and they're up 21-7. Could really use some big plays here, though it does not appear like we're getting all too many of them. JOK knocks it away. 3rd and 5. We give it up to Mike Williams. 3rd down, or 1st and 10. They take the 3 to Robinson and nearly pick up the 1st down thereafter. Now 3rd and 1. 7 yards, McGee. They've gone to their tight end McGee a lot. Jerry Tillery does finally get us a sack. Bringing up 3rd and 14 here. We give up 12 to Sutton. That should be a field goal attempt. No, they went for it because why not? 21-7. We are struggling big here. We give up some points. Offense, got anything? No. Okay, but we do have the ball back here, and we pick up the 1st down, now down to the 15. And we at least get in the end zone one more time here. Got a tight set single back. Kyron Williams, that running back. We will hand it off to him, looking for a cutback lane, though nowhere to go. Well, the first drive looked good with this new offense. I still think it's the style we need to go for. We just might have to continue trying to rotate some guys and see who's going to make the plays outside of Kyron. Seems to be the only guy doing so, picking up a nice chunk there. Will provide us with a 3rd and 1, which we got a bunch down the bottom. One up top is Parker. And we will throw for it. Levis stepping up and finding. No, it's dropped. I think Rondale Moore has got to come out of this starting lineup. He cannot make the plays for us. We got plenty of guys under him. And we're just going to see who makes the plays. We go Horvath here. Fullback dive for the touchdown on 4th and 1. Hey, anytime someone's making the play, that's going to get him some more playing time. Way to go, fullback. And if the guys want to make some more plays here, give us some more chances on offense, that would be great. As we give up 6 on second down, third and 426 goes to Cortland Sutton. 12 more Sutton, 10 Sutton. Well, it looks like they clearly want some more points before the end of this one. As it's 3rd and 6, we get the TFL. 4th and 7, they take the field goal. All right, offense. If you get past the 50, we will jump in for one more drive. And okay, well, Wan'Dale Robinson does it in one play. And that'll give us just 2 minutes left in this one. We're not playing for the win. Obviously, it's 31-14, but just playing for something moving forward as Levis lets it rip as pressure arrives and it lands out of bounds. Not that Moore was trying to catch it at all anyway, though. Kind of hard to tell from this angle, probably well out of bounds. 2nd and 10, got a bunch up top. 1 down below is Robinson. Going across, Levis trying to scramble as he throws late deep downfield and just too high for Williams, but at least he attempted to catch it. Honestly, at this point, the receiver core, at least the starting group, that's just how low the bar is. 3rd and 10. Levis, open guy this time is Higbee inside the red zone, dragged down at the 13. We need more of that. 1st and 10 now as we go under center. Drop back Levis, dumping it off for Williams. Good stiff arm, but here comes the big hit from number 20. Good tackle there. 2nd and 5, now at a minute and counting. As Levis dropping back again, rolling, pass, thrown, dropped by Williams. Plus we got some dirty laundry on the field, and it's going to be a holding call. So by no means has this been a great start. Some flashes, but honestly less than what we saw last year. 2nd and 15, Levis having to drop back more as he takes the big hit from Franklin Myers. Make it 3rd and 28 at the 31, sub 30 seconds left. Levis, got to find somewhere to go here. He's going to throw it out late, and not a whole lot of effort there from Moore, but at least more than before. But with one last play remaining in this one, why not? Let's jump out here, see what we could do. Got a lot of crossing happening here. Maybe we just need a little bit more of that. As we've got to have someone make the play. It's Moore as he holds on to it that time. We find the touchdown, though. It's not going to help us out a whole lot in this one. But that might be his last touch of the season. That will send us to 0-5 to begin the year. And at 0-5, you're really not thinking playoffs. What you're thinking is, how do we fix this team moving forward? What moves can be made? And how can we best utilize the time we have this year to improve for next year? And the first thing I think we got to look at here is the receiving room and what to do moving forward. Now, surprisingly, Rondale Moore is our highest rated receiver. He's an 81 overall. He's just not holding on to the ball. So we've got to figure out something to do with him. And also, he looks like he'd actually make a pretty good running back, though we don't need one right now. But he's got the route running. Hands are at an okay spot. What are our other options then for the slot? Well, there is Wan'Dale Robinson. Both are on the smaller side. With Robinson, you got about an inch higher, about 5 pounds more to him, so maybe he could handle those hits a little bit more. He's a 77 true overall. Catching traffic is about the same. Route running, about the same. Less release. But we could definitely try Wan'Dale Robinson playing in the slot for the next couple games and just see if that improves things. In terms of other guys with release, Westbrook Akine is at least at a 71. There is Equinemius St. Brown, who did decently well in that first game. He has at a 70. Then you got David Bell, a 74 at 6'1", 212. Pretty slow at 86 speed, but honestly, if he catches the ball, fine. Then we have the rookie, I want to say he's a hidden dev as well, in Dwayne Vernon, who has 76 released. He's got some speed, but, you know, he's a pretty raw talent. And maybe he can make some plays. He's a 66 overall. But at this point, we've just got to toss guys out there and see what they can do. So let's try shaking up this group moving forward. And that change would not lead to any win here in the following week. 28-21, we lose to the Packers. We put up over 300 yards of offense, 141 rushing, 173 passing, though no turnovers. So at least it seems like this is a better style of game for Will Levis. 2 touchdowns, he completed 61%. Receiving wise, Tyler Higbee, the leading receiver in this game, though 4 players all had 4 catches. It was Higbee that had the touchdown. For us, Devontae Parker was the next best catcher. And I think he was our starting receiver, number 1. Dwayne Vernon got the start at receiver 2. He had 4 catches, 39 yards, 9.8 yards a catch, and he had a touchdown. He has the second best release on the team. And that was kind of the focus for this receiving group that we're going to test out for a couple games, see how it does. We did put Wan'Dale Robinson as the starting slot guy. He had 2 catches, 26 yards, 13 yards a catch. I mean, really nothing fancy there, but it didn't seem like either team really had a fancy passing day. So that leaves us with 1 more game left I want to get through today. And that's going to be a little bit of a quarter sim for bottom of our division against the Texans. They have 1 win on the year. We have none. They control the first quarter, though. We get a touchdown. We give up a touchdown. We get a field goal, and we give up a field goal. Then we get a field goal. All right, so at least a lot of scoring there in the second quarter. It ends 17-13. Let's get through the third as we march and take the lead, doubling it as we hit the fourth quarter. All right, that's what we love to see. 27-17, a 10-point lead here for us. Just have to hold on to it or grow it if we can. 3rd and 4, Julian Love knocks it away. That is great. Offense will start back at the 20. Smooth drive here is all we need. As Levis rushes, fine by me. We pick up the first down. Benny Snell, a couple rushes for him. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Williams is okay. As Wan'Dale Robinson rushes for the first down. We go to the rookie and Dwayne Vernon getting us into plus territory. Again, we get inside the red zone. We'll jump in. Kyron Williams does run there, but then Benny Snell right back out. So maybe it's a stamina issue as we do get inside the 20 as Ronnie Stanley injured. That is not good. Our offensive line was already pretty weak. That's going to bring out Forrest Lamp, who hasn't been great in his time out there. But we go Williams right down the middle, and he does not keep on his feet long enough. Down to the inch line. Please let this dude finish it off here as we go mostly goal line set here. And fighting through one, though not going to get through the second. Benton with the stop brings up 2nd and goal. With about 2.5 minutes left here in this one, looking to widen our lead. Sticking with the goal line, we look to throw, and we find Parker to widen it. So we can play well. A multi-score lead here against the Texans. Can we just get this more often? And if we do start to see this kind of play more often, well then does that make someone, as Carrington Valentine knocks it away, but does that make someone like Rondale Moore expendable? Maybe help us trade for a big name player that could help us out elsewhere. I know the defense, they need some help as the Texans driving here, less than 2 minutes left as Jerry Jeudy pops off for 27. But is it a little too late here as they are still down 10? They went for the onside, we recover, and Kyron Williams takes it 51 yards for the nail in the coffin. We will get our first win on the season in division, which will lift us out of last place of the AFC South and put us atop just the Houston Texans. Everyone else is well above us, including the Jaguars, which we'll update on shortly. But that was a great win. Let's check the stats from this one. And against Jalen Hurts, Will Levis actually had the better QBR. 111 or 118. I'll take that. Will Levis, 83% completion, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He averaged 7 yards an attempt, so really nothing big, even though we're supposed to be taking shots downfield. His long was of 28. How about the receiving? That was the big one. Devontae Parker goes nearly over 100 at 91 yards, did have a touchdown. Dwayne Vernon seems to just be a solid physical style receiver, bringing in a lot of catches, 650 yards, another touchdown for him. That's a touchdown in each of his starts. And then how about our next guy? Would be Tyler Higbee, not much. So the slot did not get involved a whole lot in this game, but it was also our best game. So at week 8 of season 2, it was not a good start, but the same could be said for most of our division. The only team doing well is the Jaguars, and they've nearly already clinched the division, starting 6-1, Titans 2-4, the Colts, ourselves, as well as the Texans at 6-1. But hey, we're not in last place thanks to that last win. It hasn't been a good start, but things may be on the upwards trajectory. So far, whether it's coincidence or not, Vernon in the starting lineup at a 66 overall has sparked our passing game a little bit. Levis playing a little bit cleaner. Also could be a little bit due to that playbook change. So we're going to continue how we've left off here. Moore has essentially been relegated out of this group. And with that, we might look to use him in a trade next episode to greatly help out this team. On top of all that, we will also finish off the rest of season 2, hopefully with a big second half that makes things maybe a little bit more interesting. I mean, if we win out, we could find our way in the playoffs. Is that likely? Not sure about that. Jaguars will probably be where we start next time, as they are in week 9. So make sure you hit that sub button either down below or that bell icon in the bottom right. And definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Wednesday and Saturday. Plus we have the traditional Panthers franchise where we play every single game. That one every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you guys got 6 videos every single week. Plus you got all the shorts highlighting everything. Also make sure you're checking out the community tab, posting some things about structuring the content in the future. So voice your opinion there. And until next time, where we see really what this shaken up wide receiver group can do and how much it's going to impact this team and what trades we can pull off. We'll see you then.